Hello. Hopefully no judgment. I'm in an Udi because it's freezing in Sydney right now. My name's Michelle. I've written some things about placement. Some highlights I had was reading to the students, even like using dictation tests. I love English, so being able to read 5 minutes of poetry to them was amazing. Firstly, it was hard to read because I was nervous standing in front of them. But over time, when I was reading, I actually had a lot of fun and I would pause to be like, so how does that make you feel? Do people understand that? Um, the kids and the classroom and the school treated me so immensely nice. Even on duty, students would come up to me and greet me and ask me how my day was. And honestly, that was amazing. It felt like I had been there for weeks or for years, even though I was only there for 2 weeks. Each student in the classroom knew their role. These year sixes were so on board with taking on responsibility. And even though the classroom was mostly girls, no one felt left out of the classroom. Everyone was really friendly with each other because they'd all have been with each other since like year two. It was nice to mark. I know how crazy I sound, but I enjoyed marking their work so much because I got to see different responses. Even doing pre-tests and reporting, I got to do some reporting as well, and just seeing how they assess in the Sydney Diocese schools was really interesting. Being able to bring activities for my small maths group for my second week was so fun. Every day they could tell I was having more and more fun with it, and I just enjoyed that so much. I also got my own table, and they decorated it with flowers, and that was amazing. And there was a student that gave me a Pokemon card of myself, which was like not expected, and I had to not cry in front of him. So that was fun. Some challenges I had was the fact that they don't use Akara for lesson planning. And so I had to learn Nessa. And I was also given maths, which is not my strong suit. So I was given stage two maths to do lesson plans of. And the whole lesson planning, I probably challenged myself by the fact that I, you know, researched not as much as I should have. So sometimes maths lessons was moved to the first hour of the day and I had no notice. Sometimes I finished the lesson 10 minutes before starting and that was okay. So there was a lot of anxiety, especially waiting for the feedback for the lesson the night before was kind of tiring. So this whole process made me a little burnt out. I'm not really used to the structure of working every day. Um, and, some days my mentor teacher was somewhere else because she had another role. So there was a bit of chaos in the first week. There was one day that there was 5 teachers in that classroom for like half an hour increments. So that was a bit wild. There were some classroom dynamics that were a bit imbalanced. There were some students that thought they could treat others differently. And yes, there were some altercations I had to deal with in my second week. Um, I also didn't know when to include myself or step back because I'm a stranger in the school. So it was a bit crazy. And also, eating doesn't happen in a small school because a lot of the teachers have a rotating roster of supervising lunch, car duty. So there's not really any time to yourself, even though there is probably about 10 minutes. Um, what I want to know before my next placement is how they run assessments and reporting, which they kind of got into when I was in one of the staff meetings. And I was marking pre-tests, and when I was leaving, they were doing post-tests, which was about halfway through the term. So I'm really interested in how they collate the report in order to present to the parents. And in general, I just can't wait to create better connections with those students because they were so nice and kind and they couldn't wait for me to come back. I also just need to not use friendly nicknames to them because it could come across like I'm treating them differently. And yeah, but overall, a really fun and great experience. I'm sorry for rambling, but it was like the best 2 weeks ever. I had the feeling that I wanted to be a teacher literally the day after I was there. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks.